Welcome to How to Get Easy Access to High-Value Features. In this lesson, you'll learn to easily access your high-use and high-value features and tools. Learn to customize your ribbon and add buttons to the Quick Access toolbar. You can even create new groups to combine elements of your favorite add-ins and built-in Microsoft features. We'll cover features which are available for Microsoft Word for Windows or Mac.
Hello, and welcome to How to Get Easy Access to High-Value Features. Today we'll cover the ribbon and menu and the Quick Access toolbar. I'm Ivy Gray from WordRake, and I'm with Baron Henley from Affinity Consulting. Take it away, Baron.
Okay, this segment is how to get easy access to high-value features in Word, and we're specifically going to focus on the customization of the ribbon and the Quick Access toolbar. So first of all, let's identify what the Quick Access toolbar even is. And it is this little bitty toolbar at the very top of your screen. Now, by default, there's 4 or 5 buttons on it. As you can see, mine is really wide because I've customized it. And that's what I want to show you how to do. Now, why would I put buttons on this little toolbar? And the answer is because I can see them all the time. It doesn't matter what tab I'm on in the ribbon, I can always see these buttons. So before we get to that, the first thing I would recommend that you do is move the Quick Access toolbar off the top of your screen so it's easier to see and we have more room to add buttons to it. And it's really easy to move it. All you got to do is right-click any button already on the toolbar. So I'll right-click the Save button here. And then I'll choose Show the Quick Access toolbar below the ribbon. That moves it down here, and as you can see, it also colorizes the buttons. When they were at the top of the screen, it was all monochrome blue and white, and now I can see them a little better because it's polychromatic if you get it off the top of the screen. Now, there's a couple of ways to add buttons to the Quick Access toolbar. The easiest of which is I can just find the button that I'm always using. Let's say I do footnotes all the time, and I have to go to the References ribbon to get to the footnote button, and I'm otherwise never on the References ribbon. Okay, here's how easy it is to add this button to the Quick Access toolbar. All you have to do is right-click the button and choose Add to the Quick Access toolbar. As you can see, I now have an AB button down here, which as you can see is Insert Footnote. If you add a button to the toolbar that you decide you don't want, then all you have to do is right-click it, and your top option is Remove. All right, so that's one easy way of adding stuff to the toolbar. However, there are lots of features in Word for which there are no buttons on the toolbar. So if there's not a button for it, then can you add it to the Quick Access toolbar? And the answer is yes. You just have to go about adding it in a slightly different way. Now, let me point out 2 things that are additional options if you have Microsoft Word 365, and specifically the latest version, because they've added a couple of enhancements to the Quick Access toolbar. One is if I right-click any button on the QAT, I have a chance to show command labels. So one of the long-time complaints about the Quick Access toolbar is they're little bitty buttons and you can barely see them. And in order to remember what they do, you have to hover over the button and wait for the little window to pop out. Now you can actually make them be labeled all the time. Now, if like me, you don't want to see all the labels because you know what the buttons do, then you can right-click any button and you can say hide the command labels. All right. Now, in all prior versions of Word, there was no way to get rid of the Quick Access toolbar. Like, I don't know why somebody would want to get rid of it, but apparently some people do. So if you have the latest version and you want to get rid of it, you do have a means of turning it off now. You right-click any button, and you've got a Hide Quick Access toolbar option. Okay. So I could never do that before until like a month ago when I got the latest update to Word. If you want to bring it back, there's now a little permanent mini toolbar up here that you can't get rid of, and it's got a save button on it. If you just right-click a button up here, you'll have a chance to show the Quick Access toolbar again, and you can make it reappear. Okay, so let me finish this thought. I have buttons that I want to add for which there's no button on a current ribbon. Okay. Here's how you can make those customizations. You can go to the File menu and down to Options. And once you get into this screen, you'll see there's an option to customize the ribbon. Click on that. All right, so Sorry, quick access toolbar. That's what we're working on, not the ribbon. I'll get to the ribbon in a second. I just prematurely clicked on that. Quick access toolbar is what we were customizing. Okay, so here's what you're looking at. On the right side are all the buttons that are currently on my toolbar. The top of the list is the left side. The bottom of the list, auto text, is the right side. All right. So first of all, can you change the order? Yes, you can. You would think you could just hold down on your mouse and drag these into position. So that's not how it works, because that would be intuitive and logical. Instead, you can click on a button and then click these little up-down arrows. So up is to the left and down is to the right. So you have to click on each one that you want to move and click the arrows till it's in the position that you want it in. Okay, so they can be moved around and it will stay that way. Second thing, this is really important. Choose commands from, and you'll notice it's showing me the popular commands, which is a tiny little short list of things I don't really want to add. So it's very important that you hit the down arrow over here and choose all commands. Okay, if you want to see everything you can add, you want to abandon the popular commands. So I switch to all commands. I click on this, wait for it, 3, there we go. Now I have hundreds and hundreds of buttons. Now, are they well named? Of course not. Are they explained? Of course not. So like, look at this, options, options, options. So I have 4 buttons called exactly the same thing. They must do something different. What do you think they do? There's really no way to tell. You can add them to the toolbar, click on them and see what happens. So unfortunately, Microsoft has made this whole thing quite a mystery. Now, some of the buttons, like one of the buttons you might want to add is keep with next. Keep with next, let me show you what that is. I'm going to click OK. Keep with next will allow you to glue like a title or a heading to the subsequent paragraph to prevent a page break from occurring in between, right? You wouldn't want to have a title at the bottom of the page and it's the described paragraph at the top of the next page. So you'd want to hold those two things together. In order to get to that feature, which I literally use it in every legal document I draft, every single one, at least once. So is there a button for it on the ribbons? Of course not, because it's useful and people would want it. So there's no button. You get to it by right-clicking and choosing paragraph, and then clicking on line and page breaks. And this is the checkbox right here, keep with next. Okay, so that's the feature I want to find a button for, because it would be a lot easier. Obviously, that was a lot of clicks. Right-click, paragraph, line and page breaks, keep with next. Way too many clicks for a feature I use all the time. So I would like to add a button for that. All right, this is what you do. I go File, Options, Customize the Quick Access Toolbar. I got to switch from the useless popular commands to all commands. Now, what was that feature called? Keep with next. So do you think Microsoft puts it under K for keep? Let's go see. I, J, K. Okay, I got keep source formatting, keep original, keep changes. I got a bunch of keeps in here, but no keep with next. That's because Microsoft is rude and they don't want you to find useful things. That's the only logical reason I can come up with for this, because that feature is actually under P. Under para keep with next, para keep lines together. So what logical person would think keep with next is under P? Nobody. So there you go. Now you know. So I find para keep with next, and I click add, and this is my button right here. So when I click OK, that button is going to show up on the right edge. Okay. Now with this one, it gives you the full name, and even though I don't have the command labels turned on, it shows you the full name. So if I wanted to use that and glue this bullet to this bullet, I would simply click in this paragraph and I would click para keep with next. And now that particular, you can see it's got a little check mark on it. That little ribbon bullet is now stuck to Quick Access Toolbar, and there's no way that a hard return could separate the two. Okay, and if you decided you didn't want that anymore, of course, you could right-click it and hit remove. So there are a whole lot of, some of them are actually called what you would expect. But if you think about things, here's another one that's really good to add. if I want to do a custom tab in a particular location in the document, you can, of course, click on the ruler, and you got to come over here and keep clicking the tab selector until you see the type of tab that you want to add, and then click on the ruler, which is kind of time consuming and annoying. There is a tabs dialog that makes adding a tab really easy. Unfortunately, the only way you can get to it is to right click somewhere in your document and choose paragraph, and then click the tabs button at the bottom. This is the dialog I would like to access. Okay, so this would be a great button to add to the quick access toolbar, because I use tabs all the time, and I'd like to be able to jump in here and set a tab whatever I want, like 3 inches. I want it to be a center tab, set, okay. And as you can see up here at my 3-inch mark on the ruler, I've got a little upside down T indicating I have a center tab at 3 inches. Okay, so here's how you could do that. I go, again, File, Options, Quick Access Toolbar, switch from the useless popular commands to all commands. Wait for it. And then I'm going to scroll down, and this one, unbelievably, is actually called tabs. They actually called it something that a reasonable person could find and guess. Unfortunately, there's 2 different tabs buttons. There's a tab with left-right arrows, and there's a tabs ... You want the ... Tabs ... Use that one. And when you do, you'll get this little blue orb is its icon. And when you click on that, it'll take you right to the tabs dialog and make this a whole lot easier. All right. Now, just so you know, there's a quick access toolbar in Outlook and Excel and all the other Microsoft programs. So you can customize them in the same way. They're not shared, right? So Outlook has its own quick access toolbar. And actually, Outlook has a quick access toolbar in the parent version of the view of Outlook. So like this, there's one here. This is the parent view. And then if I create a new email, there's another one for new emails and replies forwards. So you can customize this for whatever you'd like to include in your quick access toolbar. And it can be moved exactly the same way. All the same stuff applies. All right, so is there a way to make a custom ribbon? Yes, there is. And remember, Microsoft refers to these as tabs. I call this the layout ribbon, the references ribbon, the mailings ribbon. Microsoft does not. It calls it the ribbon. There's only one ribbon, and the ribbon has different tabs on it. And of course, each time you click on a tab, you're presented with an entirely new set of buttons. So let's say you wanted to add your own ribbon. You go to the File menu and down to Options. And this time we're going to click on Customize Ribbon. And just, I want to point out one thing that I'm not going to delve into too much here. But at the bottom of the Customize Ribbon is the little keyboard shortcuts customize. This is where you would go to create a custom keyboard shortcut for a particular thing. Okay, this is the only way you can get to it right here. It's not, if you click on Quick Access Toolbar, there's nothing down here. Customize Ribbon, this is the only place you can find it. So over here are all the ribbons that are already in Word. So the first thing to be aware of is you can turn off ribbons you don't want to see anymore. So if I didn't want to see, for example, I've got Adobe Acrobat, so it automatically adds an Acrobat ribbon. Maybe I don't want to see the Acrobat ribbon in Word. Okay, I can uncheck it. And okay, so it's not going to be visible in Word, but I can always check it back in and turn it on if I want it. One ribbon that's not turned on by default is the developer ribbon right here, which actually has stuff on it that I use all the time for creating fillable forms. So you might want to turn that one on. But if you want to make your own, then you go down to New Tab. Remember, that's what Microsoft calls these things, a tab, not a ribbon. So I click New Tab. And the architecture is you got the name of the tab, and then you got a group. Okay, so let me hit cancel and explain something about the architecture here. You'll notice if I'm looking at the home ribbon, I've got it. This is the clipboard group. See these vertical lines? And then this is the font group, and I got a bunch of buttons. And I got the paragraph group and a bunch of buttons. Okay, they enforce that architecture. In order to add a button to a tab, aka a ribbon, you have to create a group. You can add buttons to the group. You cannot add buttons just to a plain ribbon that doesn't have groups. Okay, and that's kind of weird, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So I go to the File menu, down to Options. I click on Customize Ribbon. Now I want to make my own. And in case you're wondering, can I I can go into the groups here, and I can remove the whole group from the ribbon. Like there might be stuff on your ribbons that you never use and don't care about and you want to get rid of. You can remove them. The individual buttons here, you cannot get rid of. See how my remove is gone? So I can get rid of the whole group, but I can't get rid of an individual button in the group. All right. Now, if I click on a button like font color, I can add buttons to a group on an existing ribbon, but I cannot remove the ones that are already on it, which is kind of weird, but okay. Welcome to Microsoft Word. But in any event, I want to make my own. I want to make a Baron. That's my name, Baron. So I'll click New Tab, and now see how it says New Tab and Custom, New Group, Custom. The first thing you want to do is rename these things. See when it says Developer, that's what the name of the tab is. So I click on that, and I click Rename, and I'll just call it Baron. Okay, so now I've got my own custom ribbon. Now I got to create a group. Now you can leave it New Group. It automatically gives you one group. If you want to add another group, you just click New Group, and you add as many groups as you want to your particular ribbon. I'm just going to keep one. So, but I don't want to leave it New Group. So I'm going to call it Rename, and I'm going to call it, My Stuff. And OK. Now I have a Baron ribbon with the My Stuff group, and now I can add stuff to it. So like I click on Find, and I add that. And I click on Copy, and I add that. And I do Cut, and I add that. And I'm just adding miscellaneous stuff. Bullets, and I add that. And we'll do Format Painter because that's one of the best features in Word. And we'll call it a day. So I've added 5 buttons to my ribbon. When I click OK, it magically appears somewhere. There, here it is. So here's my ribbon, and there's the buttons that I added. The benefit obviously being that the buttons are much larger than they are in the Quick Access Toolbar, and they are labeled. Always, they're labeled. Okay, so the copy and cut is grayed out because I haven't selected anything yet. As soon as I select something, you can see they light up. If you haven't selected anything, then they're grayed out. All right, so if I want to go back, File, Options, Customize Ribbon. Now, if I decide, you know what, I want to add more stuff, I can click here and I can add more buttons. I could add another group, call it whatever I want, add more buttons to that. And if I change my mind and I don't want to see it anymore, I can uncheck it, but leave it in the program, right? I could always check it back in. Or if I want to get rid of it entirely, I could click on it and I could say delete or remove. And now I don't have a Baron ribbon. Now, here's one really important thing. You go in and you customize the heck out of Word. You add all these buttons and all these new ribbons, and you get a new computer. Yay, new computer. Okay, what do you want from the old computer? All this customization. Notice at the bottom here, import, export. So you would say, export all customizations. And that's going to create this little file called Word customizations.exported UI, which stands for user interface. Save that to a flash drive or whatever. Take it to the new computer, go into Word, go to the same spot, File, Options, Ribbon, and then you'll click this and you'll say Import, and you'll browse to that button and you'll pop those in. And it actually works. I've done it, it works. So that's a great way of, take that out again. That's a great way of adding ribbon, adding your own tabs to the ribbon, your own buttons, and then preserving it in the event you want to move it to another machine. So don't settle for Word's default stuff. Remember, you can always customize it to your liking, get rid of the stuff you don't want to see, add the stuff you do want to see, and there's lots of other examples of useful buttons that you can add to the Quick Access Toolbar, but for which there's no button on a current ribbon. So there's lots of features. Now you might have to do a search for them, like Keep with Next. I certainly didn't expect that to be alphabetized under P for para, but they do stuff like that. Okay, that's all I got for this. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. That was an informative lesson.
This video was created by Ivy Gray from Wordrake and Baron Henley from Affinity Consulting, who both trained as lawyers and are now Microsoft Word and Outlook enthusiasts and productivity experts. This video is part of a series. To sign up to receive tech tips and training videos via email, please visit wordrake.com/tech-tips. Are you ready to take Word to the next level? The frantic pace of legal practice leaves us too little time to refine our writing, so we need to use technology to survive the crunch while communicating clearly. Once you've maximized your technology skills, it's time to become a better, faster writer with WordRake. WordRake is legal writing and editing software for Microsoft Word and Outlook that will help you edit for clarity and brevity while respecting legally operative phrases and key legal content. If you'd like to learn more, sign up to receive tech tips and training videos at wordrake.com/tech-tips. When you're ready to take your work to the next level, try WordRake. WordRake is clear and concise editing software that will improve your writing while respecting legally operative phrases and key legal content. It's a finely tuned collaborator that will help you satisfy clients, win more business, and do more high-value work. WordRake works in Microsoft Word and Outlook. It goes beyond Microsoft's built-in spelling and grammar checkers to help you reduce legalese and wordy writing. It uses complex, patented algorithms to find useless words, dull phrases, weak lead-ins, cliches, and high-level grammatical problems, then offers suggested edits in line. WordRake's document will look just like a smart colleague with an English degree has revised your work using track changes. In 3 simple steps, you'll have a better document or email. Try it today at wordrake.com/trial.